Where the heck did the New York Jets stand in the AFC power rankings? One insider says pretty high. We react here on the show.
Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field Gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor Gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
What's poppin', everybody? Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. And hello to everybody. Jared B. with the Zoink Scoob. Oh, yeah, baby. We're here. And good morning. New York Flight Jets Talk. Connor making an appearance. Very nice. He just had Rich Samini, his good buddy, on the program. Some juicy tidbits there. Make sure you guys go check out that interview. New York Flight Jets Talk. Some juicy stuff there. And immediately in the chat, Alan complaining about the Knicks Pacers game last night. All we could say is go New York, go New York, go 2-0. Very nice defending home court. MSG. Now the series goes to Indiana. Spicy. Very nice. So shout out to all you New York Knicks crazy fans out there. All right, we'll get more into that later, I'm sure, when we open up the phone lines. But yes, there was I was driving home last night. Again, I do some work for the Syracuse Mets, the AAA affiliate of the New York Mets, for my radio station. On top of doing a radio show every day, I work with the Syracuse Mets, do their games during the week. So I'm driving home late last night, 11 o'clock or so, and I love the Rich Eisen Show, massive fan. And one of my favorite guests that they have on the Rich Eisen Show is Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated. And they had a 45-minute conversation. It was spectacular. But there was a random moment where Albert Breer gave his take on the New York Jets, and I almost drove off the road. I'm going to be honest. I was like, what did he just say? No, he didn't just say. Did he just say that? What did he just say? So without further ado, let's go to the clip. This is the audio from the Rich Eisen Show with our buddy Rich Eisen, a big New York Jets fan, and Albert Breer just started talking about the New York Jets and where they stand in the AFC. Listen to this.
I still think your New York Jets are like fascinating. They feel like they've got a really good team. And I know Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh like the fact that they're going into this thing with a little less attention on them. But if you look at that roster, man, I think getting Ola Fashanu is really smart in that it gives them, a backstop at the tackle position. They address tackle aggressively. They really like Malachi Corley, who they got in the second round, who, they believe can be a force as a run after the catch guy, is a perfect fit for Aaron Rodgers. And that defense brings a lot back, like that defense, was pretty good last year in a really adverse situation. So I think as we get closer to the season, you start looking at the Jets and it's like, okay, like if Aaron can be even 90% of what he was, that team should be the favorite in the AFC East. And maybe outside of Cincinnati could be the top contender to the Chiefs, who've won the conference the last 2 years, 4 out of the last 5.
Man.
Hot decay, mama. Uh-oh. What did he just say? The favorites in the AFC East. The top contender to the Chiefs, not named the Bengals. Ooh, with a 90% Aaron Rodgers. Okay, talk dirty to me, Albert Breer of Sports Gosh Darn Illustrated, baby. And let's be honest, I say it's a bold take in the headline of the video, but kind of looking around here, it's not that bold. Look at the standings, people, and let's just enter the equation with a little bit of an open mind here, okay? We're going to go through the NFL standings all together right here on the show, okay? Let's take a gander around the old friggin' AFC, okay? Let's look at where the Jets stand in the AFC power rankings, okay? So you have the Buffalo Bills. We're going to go inside the division first. The Buffalo Bills are making a gamble. They're gambling that they can get rid of bigger name veterans and replace them with cheaper, cost-effective rookies. Now, that makes sense on the books, but will it come to fruition? Not everyone can draft a Sass Gardner, a Garrett Wilson, a Jermaine Johnson, all of these, people that you hit on as rookies and then you win. You win the jackpot because they're on cheap team control for the foreseeable future. It's easier said than done to execute. If the Bills can hit on that, they're still in the driver's seat. They are the man, beat the man, Ric Flair, woo, okay? That's what the Bills are, if they hit. And there's a lot to hit on. Their wide receiver room, will they be able to hit on old Keon Coleman? Will he be able to hit? Chase Claypool, okay? Is that going to be the case? TBD. Cole Bishop, replacing the Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyers back there. Will they be able to hit? I'm leaning towards no. So put the Bills aside. You go to the Dolphins. They couldn't beat a winning team. And let's take a deeper look at the Dolphins for a second. Jalen Phillips, their star pass rusher. Bradley Chubb, their other star pass rusher. They had serious injuries late in the season, which means the start to their next year is going to be incredibly compromised. So that part of the equation looks questionable for the Miami Dolphins. And they couldn't beat winning teams. Their entire defense was shredded apart. Where does Miami stand? No clue. Tua, for the first time in his life, played this fully healthy season last year. Can lightning strike twice in the same place? Questionable. And the New England Patriots. LOL. Okay? The hope for the New England Patriots, who have a dumpster fire of a roster, is that Drake May is the second coming of the Messiah, and then that accelerates the rebuild. He's your CJ Stroud. All of a sudden, you can make leaps and waves. And as Super Hempy says on YouTube, hit that like button, baby. Make sure to hit subscribe as well. But let's keep going through our perusing of the AFC. All right, the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. Now there's a step up here. Lamar Gashdarn Jackson, the reigning MVP of the league. But their entire offensive line exploded. Kevin Zeitler, gone. Morgan Moses, gone. John Simpson, gone. We went to the Baltimore Ravens gift shop this offseason. I'll take a John Simpson. I'll take a Morgan Moses. They raided the coffers of the Baltimore Ravens. So the team is incredibly talented, of course. Lamar and this or that. Who's going to be playing wide receiver? That'll be a pressing question. Mark Andrews coming off the injury. What does he look like? A lot of questions there, but a very talented team. So, okay, Baltimore should be up there in the conversation. Cleveland Browns, I don't know, man. Depends on how you feel about Deshaun Watson. I know a lot of people are not big fans. I remember, back in my day, we're channeling the Houston Texans action, where you saw those flashes of that one point. They were up like 24-0 over the Chiefs in Kansas City in the playoffs, and then it all collapsed like a used lawn chair. So Cleveland's interesting, but it all depends on how you feel about Deshaun, and questionable. You go to Pittsburgh, I have no idea. I mean, I credit them and give them a tip of the cap for how they've operated the quarterback room. They've taken dart throws at Russell Wilson for no money, and then Justin Fields for a half-eaten Snickers bar. So maybe one of those two work out, maybe they don't. I don't know. Arthur Smith as the OC, we'll see what happens there. So, okay. Pittsburgh put aside. Bengals, of course, Joe Burrow's return. Can they keep the band together? There's the T. Higgins trade request. Jamar Chase. On the defense, Trey Hendrickson requesting a trade. A lot of trade requests coming out of Cincinnati. If you have Joe Burrow, of course you have an opportunity. So Joe Cool, phenomenal. The Bengals, of course, would be in that conversation. Albert Breer said that'd be like basically with a 90% Aaron Rodgers would be the only team above the Jets. Hey, tip of the cap. Bengals are really good. You go to the Houston Texans. They're the team of hype this offseason. You got CJ Stroud. You've added in Stephon Diggs. You bring in Danielle Hunter on the defense. Like, they've made some significant improvements. But I really love how the Jets matched up against the Houston Texans. Last season, they punched them right in the mouth. And it's former San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator versus former San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator. So we'll see. That should be a fun matchup. I imagine that's going to be a primetime game for the Jets at some point this season. So Houston, give a tip of the cap there. No question about it. And Jacksonville, they lose Calvin Ridley. Can they replace him with Brian Thomas Jr.? And I'm going to be honest, Trevor Lawrence is clearly better than all the garbage that was in that draft class of Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. He was better than those guys, but he hasn't lived up to the hype as this generational prospect that's taken the world by storm. So Jaguars, a big fat question mark. Indianapolis, can Anthony Richardson stay healthy? Seems hard to believe because he got injured multiple times before he really got injured. And the Tennessee Titans are low-key okay. The wide receiving core is really nice. You got DeAndre Hopkins. You got Calvin Ridley. Like, you get some dudes in that room. Tyler Boyd gets added to that room. Not bad, but it depends on Will Levis in Tennessee. So I'm kind of meh on Tennessee. And then we rounded out in the final division in the AFC conference. Of course, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. No question about it. Got to give a tip of the cap to Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs, the back-to-back champs. They clearly are the primo. Although all of us Jet fans know what happened in that Week 4 game last year, don't we? The Jets with Zach Wilson should have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. And if there wasn't that questionable, very questionable holding call on Jermaine Johnson, he sacks Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have the 30-yard run, and we all know what happens. So to be honest, I know some people are fearing the good teams on the Jets schedule. Yesterday, the Jets tweeted out, quick detour on this. The Jets tweeted out a thing, give us your hottest take of the schedule. Like, the schedule's not out yet, but what is your hottest take? Here are all the opponents. And my hot take was this. I said, I believe the Jets will play the Bills Week 1 Monday Night Football. But what I want is going on the road Week 1 and playing the San Francisco 49ers. And I caught a lot of heat from fans saying, whoa, let's ease our way in. Let's do this. We don't want to start the season 0-1. And to me, that's a loser's mentality. Let's get a tone-setting heat check right off the get-go and let's roll. But a lot of people push back on that. In the same respect that a lot of people fear the Chiefs, I'll tell you, for me, I want the smoke. I want a chance for a rematch. Run it back. It's like if you lose the championship at a pay-per-view in wrestling and then you say, I'm going to enact my automatic rematch clause. That's what I want to do against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I want that smoke. I want another whack at the Chiefs. But they are the best. They're phenomenal. The Jets will have to prove themselves. Go to the rest of that division. Las Vegas Raiders, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell. Blech. Move on. Next, Denver Broncos, Ben DiNucci, Zach Wilson, Jarrett Stidham, and Bo Nix. Blech. And then finally, the final opponent is the LA Chargers, who are incredibly sexy. There's Harbaugh. There's Herbert. Okay? They've the best tackle tandem in the NFL with Joe Alt. And, of course, Rashawn Slater. But, boy, that roster isn't as good as you think. You squint, you stare at it. They blew up their wide receiving core. Keenan Allen's gone. Mike Williams is gone. There's a ton of talent on the Chargers team, surface level. But Khalil Mack, Bosa, Derwin James, once you get past some of those initial big names, there's going to be a big reset that has to happen with the Chargers. So they're interesting, but I don't think they're at the level. So then in recapping, going back to the original Albert Breer point that the Jets with a 90% Aaron Rodgers should be the favorites in the AFC East. They are up there as a top contender outside of the Cincinnati Bengals. This is Albert Breer's words to the Kansas City Chiefs. When you look at the standings and you comb through it and you have an honest assessment and honest conversation, Albert Breer's right. The Jets are a top contender. But for whatever reason, the Jets are an easy team to dunk on. They only have one winning season in the last 12 years, 2015, 10-6, and that was the year that was a joke because they blew it at the end. Thanks, Ryan Fitzpatrick, you bastard. Okay? So the Jets are getting overlooked, but this is one of the best, most talented rosters in football, straight up. Albert Breer sees it, and I think it's time for Jet fans to see it. Now, some Jet fans don't want to talk. They don't want to talk till they see it in the season. Okay, you can do what you want. I'm going to do what I want. And the Jets are coming. The Jets are coming. They have a chance for a chip. They have a chance for the AFC East title for the first time since 2002, baby. I want all the smoke. I want it all. Because I will ride or die with this Jets team over anybody. And that's the straight up truth. So, Albert Breer, I drove off the road in excitement. I was giddy. I was elated at your take on the Rich Eisen show, sir. Because you're right. You're gosh darn right. And that's fine. There's only we're not going to get the same hubbub as last year, Hard Knocks and all this other jazz. That's true. But there's only so much under the radar you can do when Aaron Rodgers is your friggin' quarterback. So we can enjoy a little less of that juice. Apparently, I loved the juice last year, to be honest with you. And with that, of course, comes jokes. If you have all the hubbub and you don't live up to it, all right, you're gonna catch some heat. That's I got no issue with that. That's the nature of the beast, baby. But let's see what happens. I'm really fired up for it. Well, let's get to some comments here. But I think we got some good things cooking. All right, let's see. Alan is getting in the comments about how about them Knicks. Hilarious. That is great. Dakota J. Knicks are deep, Celtics are mediocre. You're just trying to poke me, Dakota. That's okay. And I see you every day saying they will fall like usual. We'll see. We will see. John Sauer, part of our Boy Green Superfan Club. Feel free to join our YouTube membership. The little money sign if you're watching. And for a small fee every month, you can get shout-outs on the channel, of course, and help support the show. Keep the lights on, baby. John Sauer says, bottom line is Jets are solid everywhere with decent backups. Most other AFC teams have obvious holes, but you have to play the game. Of course, that's what it is. The Jets are solid everywhere. When we're talking about that was like a comment, what was it, a day or two ago? Like, what's the biggest weakness on the Jets? And we're talking like, maybe safety, maybe tight end. Like, that goes to show you how good you must be if that's what we're nitpicking. There's no obvious hole on the New York Jets roster. They're loaded. But, of course, putting the best roster together in the offseason doesn't win you a championship. You got to play the games. But it's well said, John. It's well said. Celtics are mediocre. Dakota J. Paul, how are we a diehard Jets fan yet a Boston Leprechauns fan at the same time? People, I have to explain this all the time, obviously. So my parents are from the New England, Massachusetts area. My father was born in Gatineau, Mass. My mother was born in Rhode Island. So there's New England-ish stuff there. So Boston Celtics, Boston Red Sox. But my father is not a Patriots fan. He's a Cowboys fan. My mom's a Patriots fan, but she's not diehard. She watches the games and peruses, but she wasn't really strong about it. My dad was super strong on the Cowboys. So I didn't become a Patriots fan at any point. Let me clarify that out there in the social media streets. But then my grandpa, God rest his soul, he gave me the nickname the Jet. And then I said, who the hell are the Jets? Gave me the JETS chant he had me doing all the time. I didn't know what it was for, what it was about when I was a kid. And all of a sudden, boom, became a diehard Jets fan. I've been a diehard Jets fan ever since. The nickname, Boy Green, that you all love or hate, okay? When I was at the radio station, I wear green all the time. Basically every day I wear green. Mostly it's Jets, but there's also Celtics. So my radio partner, Jim the Manchild Lurch, which shout out to him, by the way, his son's graduating from college this weekend. I'll be hosting Radio Solo today, tomorrow, and Monday. Looking forward to that. We'll have some Knicks people on for all your Knicks freaks. Jake Asman actually joins me on the show on Monday to talk New York Knicks on my radio show. I'm looking forward to that. But he said, as an intern when I first came into the radio show, that every intern that comes in gets a nickname and they're stuck with it for the rest of their life. And he said he will come up with a nickname. He just observes, and then he'll just lay it on me based on his observations after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was. I'm like, all right, God, I hope he picks a good nickname. And he nicknamed me Boy Green because I wore green all the time for my Jets and Celtics. So I know it's weird. I know it's bizarre, although I've heard from a few people who've called in. They said they're also Jets and Celtics fans. So I give a tip of the cap because I know there's not many of us out there, but that's it. Family's from Massachusetts. My grandpa gave me the nickname the Jet. Bing, boom, bam. And I will tell you, Jets, obviously I don't do a Celtics show every day. The Jets are my number one thing. They've always been my number one thing. Football is my favorite sport. It's, when people ask, oh, man, if one of your teams could win a championship, who would it be? It's always 100% the Celtics and then everyone else after. That's it. Or it's 100% the Jets and everyone else after. That's what it is for me. So that's the truth. Like Dakota J says, apparently, people ask me how I'm a Jets and Golden State Warriors fan. Well, Curry's my all-time favorite player. Interesting. But, that's kind of weird to explain, I would imagine. So it's interesting. But yeah, that's my story, baby. That's my story. Tio asked, does the LA Chargers emerge as a surprise team with Harbaugh-Herbert combo? I don't think they're going to be a surprise because maybe I am reading the room wrong, but I feel like they're getting a lot of hubbub. So I don't think they're going to like surprise anyone, a sneak attack. I think, LA, the market, Harbaugh, who just won the national championship for Michigan, Justin Herbert is a highly paid quarterback, all of those things. I don't think they're going to surprise people, but it'll be interesting how Harbaugh sets the tone because he has a rich history of turning teams around. He is a program builder, and he's got a lot of talent to work with. I don't think the talent on the roster is as good as everyone says. Like, let me rephrase that. There's a lot of top-end talent on the team, like Derwin James and Bosa and Mack and Herbert and blah, 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 blah. Like Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, like top-level talent. You're like, whoa. But it changes our perception because you make it think that the team is deep and loaded, and they're not. So, hey, the 49ers, who are also deep and talented, but their top-end talent carries the roster. They have a lot of alpha males at multiple positions like Fred Warner and Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk and Debo, all these guys, and they carry the team. And they lead with the star talent. So it's possible to do that, but I don't know if they're going to surprise people. I am curious to see what Harbaugh does with that group, though. NC, speaking of primetime games, I hope we get the minimum. Those games have been our curse for the longest time. There is no minimum, so some teams don't get any. But I believe we're going to get the maximum again. I believe we're getting 6 standalone games. That's what my gut says. And some people may not like that. To me, again, I'll repeat my message I said at the beginning. I want all the smoke, baby. So give me them all. I don't care. I think the Black Friday game thing could become an annual tradition, and I think the Jets, I think it was reported that last year the Jets asked for it. Like, we'd love to start a new tradition, like Cowboys on Thanksgiving and all these other things. I totally would love a Black Friday thing becoming a regular staple on the Jet schedule. That'd be cool. Tradition is fun. But if there was intrigue last year for the debut of Aaron Rodgers in a Jets uniform, why wouldn't there be the comeback tour? Everyone loves a comeback tour. I think that game is going to be highly coveted. That first game Aaron Rodgers comes back, I think that'll be a highly sought-after game, I would imagine. So I think the Jets are getting plenty of primetime games, but I could be surprised. We'll see. But I think the NFL is going to eat all that up, to be honest. Yeah, I've been following the Celtics and stuff since I was a kid. I got to watch my team win a world championship. I moved to New York 16 years ago in 2008, that summer. I got to watch the Celtics win a championship with my boy Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Sugar Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, that team. Win a championship. And that was a really cool feeling to share that with my dad again, because we're both not Jet fans. He is like the half Jets fan, but so we don't get to share those things together. But 100%. I hate the Patriots with a passion. Jared B says that. I say that. I said that the other day. I think that was with Woody on Tuesday. I hate the Patriots almost more than I love the Jets. That rivalry is scintillating. It is hot. It's fiery. It pisses me off. I hate the Patriots. Everything about them just pisses me off. Ugh, disgusting. So I would not mind that week 1, as Woody articulated the other day. Card Cave Central. I've been going to games since the late 90s. I don't think I've ever been so mad after that KC game. Yeah, that was just infuriating. And the frustrating part was Zach Wilson finally shows up, and then you have this false sense of man, is he there? And that's the problem, because I hate moral cookies. First off, I'm not a big dessert guy in general, but I just hate moral cookies. They're just disgusting. They're stale. They're gross. It's not something you want to rally around. Zach Wilson had that great game against Tampa Bay. They lose. They blow it at the end on that 4th down in the red zone. Well, at least Zach Wilson played well. Casey, at least. No. Screw that. I want us to get away from that. I want us to be a team that expects to win. It's not a surprise. Of course we won. And then when we lose, it's devastating. I remember as a young Jets fan, there was a Jets-Ravens game. It had to be, I don't know. Could have been 2007, I don't know. But the Jets played the Ravens early in the season, and the Jets lost, and I just went into my room, and I just cried like a baby. I was in the fetal position on the floor, felt devastated, like I just lost a family member. And that's when you know you're a fan. When you're that invested, it affects you emotionally and everything else. That game, I remember as a kid, just sent me, my body shut down, and I collapsed to the floor like a sack of potatoes. But it feels good. I think that's what makes this show so cool, is that we have an opportunity, a platform every day to speak our mind on all things Jets. For better or for worse, some people love it. Some people hate it. Hey, take it or leave it, pal. It's here every day. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25, and I just share my takes. And we have a good community here. But oh yeah, that Chiefs game pissed me off too. Multiple missed calls. The pick Michael Carter the second had, and then they're like, wait a second, there's a flag on the field. I'm like, you gotta be flipping kidding me, man. Freaking Patrick Mahomes getting all the calls, bastard. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Brock Purdy, but hey, good for him. Good for his story, I guess. John Sauer. I honestly feel the Jets' biggest issue could be coaching or lack of. Hackett scares the shit out of me. Yeah, I'll tell you this. This is something that is going to be more apparent than ever before, which I imagine is only going to make you guys more scared. With Aaron Rodgers and this roster and this team, you're going to naturally have closer games, obviously, which puts a magnifying glass on your coaching staff because those decisions are going to decide between wins and losses. Normally, the Jets have been terrible. So if they lose 40-0, a bad coaching decision makes them lose 43-0. Okay, pass the biscuits. Who gives a flying hoot? On this team, this season, maybe the difference between winning 24-21 or losing 21-17. These are the differences. I can't tell you whether or not to believe or not believe in the coaching staff. That's up to each and every one of you to make that decision. But I'll tell you this. That's going to decide things 1,000%. It's going to be key decisions, fourth down calls, this preparation during the week, that preparation during the week, how they see things. Just like I think Jake Asman says this all the time with the incomplete thing on Robert Saleh, it's hard to tell, like your judgment of this or that, because he's never had a quarterback. So to give him Aaron Rodgers and let's roll the ball out and see what happens. Let's give a good quarterback that will allow us to evaluate the talent on the roster, because I saw some people say yesterday or the day before, like, you can't properly evaluate Tyler Conklin with Zach Wilson. You can't properly evaluate this guy with poor quarterback play. Okay, let's get Aaron Rodgers. We can evaluate everybody, the coaching staff, the team, the talent, and all these things. We'll have to see how they handle those moments. Fingers crossed. Jets, Chiefs, yeah, let's run it back, baby. Let's see. I don't know how anyone hates the Chiefs. They're awesome and better than prime New England Patriots. Well, that's the reason to hate them. Jealousy is a driving force in hate, I would imagine. I'm not a therapist, I guess, but that would be my gut. That would be what my gut says. I've seen a lot of people say this. A lot of people have pushed back on my Jets 49ers week 1, saying San Francisco would kill the Jets week 1 against a rusty A-Rod. Wouldn't the 49ers also be rusty? Why are they immune? We're at the same disadvantage if we both start week 1. Aaron Rodgers knows this offense. Sure, the rustiness of the Achilles, fine, sure. But what about Brock Purdy? He had the UCL blowout going into his week 1. And guess what? What difference did it make? It didn't make any difference. They blew out the Steelers. I'm pretty sure that was their week 1 game last year. So I think a lot of that, to be honest, is overrated. So I think if they play the 40... Think about this. You talk about the disadvantages here, Alan. I talk about the advantages. This is a road game for the Jets. They have to travel to San Francisco. Wouldn't you rather knock out one of your big West Coast trips right off the beginning of the season, and you have the advantage of you can show up a week and a half early if you want to? In the middle of a season, you won't have the luxury to show up to like San Francisco early. So I totally push back. Is it a challenge? Of course. And that's why I want it, because I want the smoke. But you can eliminate one of your big road trips that could be thrown in the middle of the season in a disadvantageous position. Let's say you play at home against the Patriots, and then short week you have to go on the road to San Francisco. Or you have San Francisco right off the top. I think that's compelling. But hey, different strokes. Let's see. Cowboys suck. Oop, Cowboys are trash. Yeah, a lot of Cowboys jokes in here. Phil, I'm still waiting for Rodgers to complete a pass. Come on, man. That's not right. Dakota, Knicks in 5 or 6 against Boston. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up, Phil. Come on, man. Alan says, Jim's kid is graduating college. Holy crap, I'm old. Yeah, I knew his son, who's my radio partner, Zay, since he was like, whoop, very small. And I'm short anyway, so that was probably a height thing anyway. But yeah, how about that making me feel old? His son is graduating college at Carnegie Mellon. That's in Pennsylvania, in the Pittsburgh area, this weekend. Unbelievable. Makes me feel old as hell. And I have a bunch of silver whiskers in the beard. I don't care. It is what it is. Tio, do you think the UK game will be Jacks or Vikes? I can't remember there was not a rumor. We have a Jets fan across the pond, and somehow he was in the stadium and he saw the graphic board had a Jets and somebody else. I think it was the Jaguars, but it could have been the Vikings. My gut would probably say Jaguars would be my gut, but both teams have London games in terms of the Jaguars and Vikings. I will tell you this. I think 1,000% it's going to be, I think the Jets are 1,000% having a London game on the schedule. And when it's Jacks or Vikes, I can't remember what was on the big board for our Jets fan across the pond that had that. I think it was Jaguars. So I don't think that was an accident. Why would they randomly be showing other things? They must have been doing some sort of promo material or something, which they'd have to redo anyway because the logo's updated. But yeah, my gut says Jaguars, but we'll see. Either way, I think we are getting the London game. Jets, AFC champions. I'm going to be honest. I've been dreaming about this since God knows when. The Jets being in the Super Bowl. And we were so close. You have those 2 AFC championship games. When I'm really aware, I'm in high school. And you have 2009 where you're up, whatever it was, like 17-6 against the Colts after the Mark Sanchez pump fake, Braylon Edwards down the left hash, spins out of Dwight Freeney, touchdown to Braylon. And I'm like, holy friggin' crap, we're 30 minutes away from the Super Bowl. And that's the talk of the town. You know, you're remembered forever the Jets were in that Super Bowl. So I was just dreaming about it. Like, oh my God, here we go, 30 minutes away. Of course, we know what happens. Fast forward a year later, it couldn't have possibly gone worse in that first half against Pittsburgh. And I'm like, oh, geez, this is terrible. But maybe we could come back. And people are laughing at me in the room. They're like, it's over, pal. Sorry. And then the Jets make this ferocious rally, and they get back in the conversation. I'm like, ooh, all we do is need the ball back one more time. We don't get the ball back. So to win the conference, to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl would be a spectacular feeling. I was negative whatever. What's that? Like I was negative 24 when the Jets last appeared and won the Super Bowl. So it would be amazing. It would be amazing for the Jets to do that. And I'm going to be honest. I think the Jets have that. They have that, baby. That's it. And NC says, Boy Green remains old. That's damn straight, man. I'm with them through thick or thin, win or loss. I never leave games early. I never turn off the tube early. I'm in, man. And I won't tell other fans how to fan, but how I fan is, I tell you this, I'm invested. I'm committed to the team through anything and everything. And, I know my optimism. Some people hate, some people love, whatever. I'm just me. And that makes it easy. Because when you're just yourself, when you fake it and you try to be something else, you can sometimes forget that you're faking it. For me, I'm all me. This is it. For better or for worse. That's my fiance. Okay. This is the shish kebab. So that is it for better or for worse. Dakota says, give us Drake May in week 1. I don't know if Drake May start in week 1. I mean, if he is, sure, give me the rookie. And even if he's not, to be honest, Jacoby Brissett, I have nothing wrong with a ritual animal sacrifice and Aaron Rodgers ripping the New England Patriots apart and blowing them out and running up the score. That would be a spectacular way to start the season. I think the Jets are getting a primetime game week 1, but if they play the Patriots, I don't think so. I don't think they're putting that garbage ass Patriots team in primetime. But either way, like give me a youngster that is going to be catching some heat. I'd love New England. That'd be great. Jared B says, give me 1 o'clock games. They're the elite dad time because I have a ritual, right? You know, you could go to your local deli, get a nice sandwich, get in front. My favorite pregame of choice is NFL Fox. I love the crew, Kurt Menefee, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, Michael Strahan, Jay Glazer. Like, I like that group. And then they lead us, all right, now your game is next on Blee Blah Blue. And I'm fired up. I'm running through the house. Oh, yeah, 1 o'clock's great. There's no question about it. But because the Jets are so gosh darn good, I think they're getting plenty of primetime action. Tio, any team can get up to 5 primetime games as a max, and standalone games don't count towards that, like Black Friday game. That is correct here from Tio. Like, for instance, a London game wouldn't count. So technically, the Jets could have 7 standalone games. They could have their 5 maximum primetime, plus the London game, plus the Black Friday game. So they could have 7 games where they're the only game on in town. That could be true. So we could get 7 standalone games, baby. Matthias, great question. What is the percentage the Jets open up against Bills? I have to say like 75%. I feel like, again, that's kind of what I tweeted at yesterday, that it feels like that's the favorite. The betting favorite is to run it back and do the same thing. MetLife, Jets, Bills, Monday Night Football, because for those who don't know, here's some behind the scenes. These networks of ESPN, Fox, Amazon Prime, and name NBC, all these guys, they're bidding for games they want. When they talk to the NFL, their league partners, they say, we want Aaron Rodgers' debut. And they tell NFL all the things they want. They kind of power rank them. You're the 5 games we want, like this season. Ooh, Bengals, Chiefs. Like, ooh, we want that one. Or Jets, 49ers, or whatever the games are on the schedule. Cowboys, the sexy games, they bid. They compete. They're like, ooh, we want this. And the NFL tries to do them a solid. All right, we'll give you your one. We'll try to give you this. They can't give everyone everything they want, but they do all this. I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine that ESPN came back and said, we were gypped. We it ended up being this awesome game and overtime winner and everything. We were gypped. We won the bid for Aaron Rodgers, and unfortunate injury happens. NFL, do us a solid, run it back. I could 1,000% see ESPN, the mothership, doing that. So I will give it like 75%. Jets, Bills, Monday Night Football, run it back. And I would assume that the Jets would get the home game again, but maybe it opens in Buffalo this time. But I could totally see that. So again, I don't know the schedule. It comes out in less than a week. It'll be next Wednesday. I can't wait. That's one of my favorite shows we do here when we're reacting to the schedule live. Ooh, I love that. I freaking love that. Now, some people don't, but I freaking love that. So I would lean like a majority percentage. I think it's 75% Buffalo. My other gut, like I said, could be a San Francisco splash right off the gate, something like that. I think 1,000% it's primetime, and I think it's going to be like, I think it's Buffalo, but I want San Francisco. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes. And John Sowers on the other side. Jared, we had 1 p.m. games for 12 years. Never want to see them again. So see, give me the primetime games, baby. I love it. I love the attention. I love the juice, the extra chutzpah for these games. It's awesome, man. It is cool. Oh, yeah, even going back to that one, Card Cave Central says, AFC Championship versus Denver. I cried. Worst loss I ever experienced as a fan. Late 90s, baby. Freaking hate them as well. I hate the freaking Denver Broncos. And that's a sneaky one. Let me say that. I think we might have an episode about that this week. But Jets, home for Denver, Sean Payton, Aaron Rodgers, that could be a sneaky week 1 game. Sneaky. That could be. A lot of juicy storylines, all that stuff. That's possible. I got to throw that one in there. Let's see. We can only hope Aaron Rodgers waves off bad play calls. we saw him on the sideline. Like if he had his headset on and Hackett had a call, and he was like, pfft. He had all these like very like stark reactions. That was kind of funny. And then after we're like, oh boy, it seemed like you were reacting. He's like, no, it was something else. It wasn't something else. It was that. Shanahan versus Saleh, that'll be the difference. Could be. Alan, love your passion. Blowout? No way, man. No way. No way. And here's the other advantages. Sure, Shanahan knows Saleh's defense, but Saleh knows the Shanahan offense. There's no way. I don't buy that. Maybe it's optimism. Maybe it's a naivete. I don't know, but I'm telling you, give it to me, baby. Tio, another question. Let's see. Do you think that if the NFL keeps the tradition of New York Jets Black Friday game, that they necessarily have to be New York Jets home games, or could they be away games too? This I don't know off the top of my head. Are all the Dallas games at home? Most of them are, but I don't have that history in front of me. I would assume the Cowboys Thanksgiving ones are all at home. Is Detroit all at home? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the more I think about it, every Detroit game I remember being a home game. So, yeah, I would assume, because that's the whole thing. It's the Black Friday thing. It's the New York shots. Yeah, I would imagine those are home games. I'd imagine that's the intrigue. That's the whole shish kebab, I would imagine. But I don't know. I'll have to check that after to see. But in my recollection, because Thanksgiving and football go together with my family like everything else, yin and yang, black and white, salt and pepper, and all that jazz, is I'm pretty sure all the Lions games, which is normally that first game on Thanksgiving Thursday, I remember all those being at Ford Field. So I think so. Johnny Boy, do you think we'll bring back the flight crew? And do we know if the Jets will sign Alexis Bawden, not her husband? I don't know. I don't know what goes behind the scenes on that. That is above my pay grade, but that'd be wonderful. Bring everybody back. Jerdby, what about the talk the Jets are working on an extension with Hassan Reddick? Yeah, I tweeted that clip out because I saw Ari Meroff, who, by the way, we had on a long time ago. I'll have to bring him back on, of the 33rd team and a bunch of other places. He said, I tweeted out the clip, and a lot of people were picking it up, is Ari Meroff said that the Jets are working on an extension or hope to hammer it out, something of that vernacular. It makes sense. Again, maybe we'll have to dive into that in a full deep dive episode in the future on that topic. But yeah, there's some compelling reasons to do it. There's some compelling reasons not to do it. I can understand each side. We'll dive into that a little bit later. Gator joining us here on the show. After spending 3+ months talking about a single pick option in the draft, thank God the schedule drops next week, or we'd be debating the game one matchup until our ears bleed. Jet fans are the best. Yeah, I can't wait. That's one of my favorite shows to do. And but when that comes out, we'll be debating like, oh man, the Jets are going to go this record or this record or this record. Oh yeah. Dakota, Jets versus Packers make the NFL look really good for once. If that was a Super Bowl, oh my goodness. NC, I will pay whatever it costs if the Jets make the Super Bowl. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. John's I've been committed to the Jets for 63 years. You have me beat, pal. But I love it. And hopefully your faith is rewarded. Your commitment is rewarded. Hopefully that is all rewarded at the end of the day. Again, we got over 400 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. I'll probably open up the phone lines for a couple of calls here momentarily as I'm catching up on these comments. Also, feel free to do a YouTube super chat. That'll skip the queue. I can make sure I get to that. Michael Dunn here says, the two games I'd want to see is San Francisco or Houston, both very interesting games. That would be another compelling game. Houston would be a fun one. CJ Stroud, Stephon Diggs. There's a lot of hoopla to that. NC says, just don't want Miami in Miami. Yeah, let's save that for colder temperatures. That'd be nice. Johnny Boy, I think it's going to be Denver. Zach versus Aaron. Jets defense for a sack revenge game. Yeah, that could be a fun one. I would not rule that out. Yeah, Pittsburgh. Ugh, I hate Pittsburgh too. Those bastards. Yeah. That would make sense. Let's see. Some Phil Jackson love in here. Very nice. Let's see. Okay, I'm all caught up. Okay, cool. So I will open up the phone lines for a few minutes. We'll answer some of those, and then we'll sign off. I got to run to the radio station because I'm doing radio solo today. So I got to get to the radio station a hair early to wrap up all that action, which we will do here on the show. But I'll try to open up the phone lines here for a few moments. Feel free. Let's go. Video call-in link. Okay, there we go. I will pin that to the top. Again, if you're on any of the other platforms, heavy on Jets or Twitter or what have you have to jump over to youtube.com/boygreen25 to call into the show. And Tio with the super chat, baby. Great show and New York Jets hat as always, baby. Yeah, I got the gear. This is a nice little Jet shirt. I don't know if it's showing there. Let me, see? You got this. Nice little professional looking thing. Matches the hat. Very nice. Yeah. But thank you, Tio, for the super chat, brother. I appreciate that. Very nice. All right. We got a bunch of calls. All right. Let's go through everybody here. All right, we got Bobby, who's been number one pole position the last couple of days. What's up, Bobby?
Well, I like talking to you, Paul. Hey,
wow, I appreciate that.
What radio station do you do?
I work for the Score 1260 in Syracuse.
All right. Can you listen to that on the radio?
Of course, yeah. You can listen to it either locally if you're here in New York, or you can also listen on the app or the score1260.com. It's all free apps and free online. Yeah, you can call into the show and anything you'd like.
Are you on
Say that one more
Odyssey?
time?
Are you on Odyssey?
Yeah, I'm on 10 to 12, Monday through Friday.
No, the radio. Can you listen to that radio on the Odyssey, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So, yeah, the Knicks won yesterday. I think the Knicks are going to play the Celtics, and then they're going to go 7. But
Ooh.
Allen is such a horrible person. He wants people to get hurt. Because he goes, oh, Mitchell's down. Who's next? And guess who got hurt yesterday?
Yeah, Jalen, right?
Yeah, he came back, but the other guy got a OB. What's his name?
Toppin?
No, on the next OB.
Oh, are you talking about OG Anunoby?
Yeah, he got hurt with a hamstring.
Oh, I missed it. I was driving back home in the third, fourth quarter. Oh, is he okay?
I don't think so. It's pretty bad. They said, yeah.
Oh,
so Allen's a cartoon character. So yesterday Jake had to throw him off the air for 24 hours.
Hopefully yeah. Okay. There you go. That's fitting.
Yeah, I do like you said you like. Yeah, the Jets are gonna be 12-5 this year.
I love it.
Yeah,
that'd be the most wins they've ever had in a single season ever. It would be tied for the most wins if they get 12. So sign me up, baby.
And I think they're gonna win their division because they can take care of the smelly Patriots.
Yes, please. Yes.
Smelly Miami Dolphins and the smelly Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, hey, smelly fish, smelly bison. They're all smelly. I agree.
You know what team that knocked Drew Bledsoe out to go to get Tom Brady?
Unfortunately, I am very aware of who that team is. That is the New York Jets. Mo Lewis.
Yeah, Mo Lewis. You can thank him for that. Imagine if he never showed up. What would the Patriots be then? Forget it.
The Jets would have been the champs.
Yeah, I know, right? That would have been great. The Stack Exchange, remember them?
Oh, sure. Yeah, good times.
Did I tell you the other guy, Dan, had a Jet guy on his show the other day?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I can't remember the player, but it was like an old school guy, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's a great player. Next time I call you, I'll tell you the name.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks, Bobby.
I'll listen to you on the radio. 610.
Yeah, 1260.
1260.
Yeah, the Score.
FM.
Yeah, that's the AM dial. Oh yeah, we're still alive over there. Yes, but yeah, you can listen.
Yeah, I'll listen to you. What time you go on that?
10 to 12.
Oh, you work from home?
No, I run to the radio station after the show. It's about an hour drive or so from here. But yeah, so after this show, I'll run over there.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. It's 8.
All right. Thanks, Bobby.
Okay. Bye now.
Yep. See ya. Yeah, that is for those who care. That is the Score 1260. That is in Syracuse. You guys can listen to score1260.com, the Score 1260 app. We'll be talking some Knicks, some NFL. I actually got a couple of good guests today, so I'm looking forward to that. All right, let's jump on over. I see this guy just popped in. Let me make sure he's driving all over the place. Let's go to EZ, our OC. Where are we here, baby?
I'm in East Granby Road, going to get a load of 57 stone to take to Angier, North Carolina.
All right, nice. Always working, pal. Always working.
I swear to God, I was listening to the Jerky Boys the other day, and Bobby sounds just like Saul Rosenberg.
That's funny. I had not thought about that. That's funny.
Hey, his feet hurt, and he don't see too good.
That's good.
Oh, he kills me.
Yeah, one of a kind.
He is a cartoon character.
Yeah, which I hope is a source of pride. Being a caricature. That's great.
Oh my God, yeah. Anyway, I can't wait till tomorrow. I go to the beach, vacation for the weekend. It's gonna be nice. But yeah,
enjoy it, pal.
There was one other season besides that Vinny Testaverde season. That was a great season, and we lost going to the Super Bowl because of our place kicker who missed the field goal at the end of the fourth, then had a chance to hit it in overtime, and he missed it again. And that's what killed me.
Steelers game in what's that, 2004? Is that what you're talking about?
That was 2010.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
We were going to the Super Bowl if we'd have made the damn field goal. And he had 2 shots at it. 2!
Brutal.
They cut him the next day.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Throw him out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, terrible.
Anyway, I'm at the quarry now. See, there's a pile of ABC stone.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm going to that other pile behind the stop sign. That's the 57 stone.
Okay.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I just I'm living the dream, boy.
That's right. Well, make sure you get this day of work done, then you'll be in Myrtle Beach in no time, pal.
Oh, I can't wait. All right, man. Take care. Love to all the fucking listeners.
I love it. Cheers to all of them out there. There's EZ joining us on the show. I love that guy. All right, let's keep going on the phone lines. We got Johnny Boy. Everyone's in their car today. All right, let's go to Johnny. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what up, Boy Green? How you holding up, man?
Excellent, man. I'm fired up.
Did I hear that, man? Hey, so first off, what up, Alan? How about them Knicks? Oh, wait, what happened? Yeah, we had everybody hurt. They were up by 12. They should have won, but the referees, boo-hoo. And hey, you got to win, bro.
That's it.
By any means necessary. Anyway,
the Knicks are in a great spot, man. Great spot.
Dude, I really think it's gonna be Denver, man. Like I think our first game is gonna be Denver, and it's gonna be like everybody. I mean, people think like both Knicks, but I don't know, man. Does Sean Payton like putting in a rookie in there, right?
That's a good question.
He's kind of old school.
Yeah, I would love there. First off, for whenever that Jets Broncos game is, Week 1 is a sexy game. It's picking up a lot of steam. Even if it is, I would love nothing more than to play against Zach Wilson, and let's exercise our demons. Let's get closure at the end of this terrible relationship. Oh, that would be spectacular.
Exactly. I mean, you know, how many times our defense had an incredible game and our offensive quarterback that should have been something at least, didn't do crap for them, right? And then he says, I look, man, I'm telling you, them cats are still thinking about that presser he had when he was like, you know, talking junk about the defense more than anything.
And then the wind was blowing. Hey, it was kind of crazy out there, man. Yeah. He said something. It was something to the effect of Connor Hughes asked him the question, do you feel bad for your defense? Like that you let him down? He went, no.
Yeah, dude, it's terrible. Man. So I could just see our squad wanting to go ahead and do that. And why not start it? I mean, I don't think Denver's going to be an easy game, right? I mean, it'll be easy if Zach is the guy there, right? But
I think anyone who's a quarterback, if it's Bo Nix, it's a first-round pick. I like the Jets' defense's odds. If it's Zach Wilson, great. Someone told me apparently Danucci got cut fine. Jarrett Stidham, I don't. No game, I guess, is easy in the NFL, but I love the matchup. I think the Jets could run through the Denver Broncos.
Exactly. JFM running against
Right.
his
Oh
old
yeah. Right.
against,
That's another storyline. There's the AVT thing. There's I mean, there's a
that's what I
million
mean.
storylines.
There's just so many different storylines. Aaron versus Sean Payton,
Of
Hackett
course.
versus Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the game that should have been but never got to be. There's
Yes.
just a lot that comes through that. Same thing, man. I'm on board with the whole San Fran thing if it does occur, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not test the damn vehicle to see if it's running in all full cylinders? Give me that V8 Hemi, man. I'll take it all day. And make sure on a cold start, that bad boy is still going. Right? So, like,
too much scared money out in the streets. Too much scared money. I don't know. It'd be more ideal in week 8. Shut up. Let's rev the engine, baby. Let's not be a puss about it. Like, come on now.
I'd rather get rid of that game in the very beginning of the year compared to it later on if we're fighting for the division and these games start to count, you know, with the win totals and the whole 9. But I don't know, man. I'm excited. Dude, it's like what Gator said. We're about to have this freaky schedule, and we're going to be talking about week 1 for the next, like, 20 damn months, bro. So I feel you, Gator. I'm on the same boat, dude. Like, we talked about the draft. We should probably start doing mock drafts for 2025. Boy Green special.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
I don't even know who's out there yet like that, dude.
I don't know really either. Outside of, I had to write a piece this morning for Heavy. Someone did a way too early mock draft, and they had the Jets taking Deion Sanders' kid next year in like the 20s, which was kind of funny. So that's the only mock that I've looked at.
The QB? Right?
Yeah, yeah. Shadur, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Yeah,
Jordan Travis nuts, man.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, immediately ready to rip that Band-Aid off, I guess. So
they're not giving that kid any type of chance at all, man. I think he's gonna be good. That dude is playing with a chip on his shoulder because everybody's writing him off. And players like that with high character, I mean, it's just like Aaron, dude. Aaron needs somebody to tell him, dude, your freaking check downs look like shit. Gonna check down the living crap out of you and just be like, yeah, how about that, right?
Yeah.
But you probably got more callers on, man. Let me stop going on this rant. But hey, JETS, Jets, go New York, go Celtics. We want them. We want the Celtics. We need them.
The smoke,
and I want to beat them.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, Johnny, for joining us again. Me and my radio partner, me and Lurch. Me, Celtics, him, Knicks guy. That would be entertaining radio. So I want that to happen. I am all for the entertainment factor. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Let's go to the phone lines one more time, baby. We got NY Jets FL gracing us on the road with his presence. What's up, buddy?
So what's up, Paul? Good morning. Of course, everyone's in their car. You know, we're like running around to get our kids to school, but whatever. I would rather open up. I'd rather open up with an easy team because, well, so-called easy team, because, you know, off the year layoff, he raced basically, you know, you got to ease that guy. No matter how healthy he is, he's got to be eased into the games. I don't want to come out where we have to kind of I'm pulling over. We have to outscore these teams. And out of curiosity, regarding Sean Payton, when do we become the dumping team? They're the dumping ground for the Jets. Like, do they have something on Sean Payton? Like, is Hackett some kind of secret pictures of something or something going on? Because
we played them in like I'll have to double check, but we've played them like every year for like God knows what. Let me see the Jets Broncos series history. Let me see if I can see the track record here, but it's been like, and I know because I knew someone that used to work in the Denver Broncos building, and we used to text all the time when the schedule comes out and like throughout the year, and we would talk about another time to see you, pal, is one of the Denver people. Let me see. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so they've played. This will be the 5th year in a row the Jets play the Denver Broncos, which is absolutely bizarre, and it's 2-2. We've won the last 2. They won the first 2. So that is it, dating back to 2020, and then it's been wildly inconsistent from there. It was like once every couple of years, but yeah, this will be the 5th straight year we play the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, I do want a camera. I want an ISO camera on Salah and Peyton, because Salah said stay humble to him and things.
Yes,
and I want
right. Reportedly, right.
I want a Hackett cam, with him, because and
I want a Rodgers cam, because if Rodgers was that fiery at a random NFL network sitting there with Peter Schrager going like, keep my coach's name out of your mouth, I wonder with that fire, because he has proven to be a player that when he has a chip on his shoulder, whether made up or real, like he plays with some extra juice. So I would love a Rodgers cam, like Jihad Ward, like I don't even know who you are, pal. Like I want that kind of energy for the Broncos game. Yes.
All I know is we better score 40 on them if we're going to come out and
at least. Oh yeah, let's run it up.
We're going to be PO'd. Yeah, that's about all I got, Paul. Just trying to the day started. I tried to call on your radio show the other day, one day, but I couldn't hold on any longer. So
yeah, my interns are out there, so hopefully they do a better job this time. But yeah, feel free, and we'll try to get you on the show.
Oh, I had to go. They were perfect. They got me on hold, and you were interviewing somebody, and I just couldn't stay on any longer. But
That's
you got the Bobby Midnights of the world. I mean, those kind of guys can are readily available to call in every day.
That's a good point.
He's a great listener, though. I know you got to go, Paul. You got things to do. You have a.
All right, thanks, pal. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, the one thing I'll say real quick, we'll get one more phone call in on the show, is just the thing that I'm really going to appreciate this season that we couldn't appreciate last year is like when the other team scored a touchdown, you're like, oh boy, can the Jets get to 7? Like that is a disgusting thing to say out loud. And now with the guy like Aaron Rodgers, when the defense holds the opponent to insert, we're like, we're clearing that pole, like with this or that, which should be a lot of excitement. All right, let's go to our number 1 Indiana Pacers fan, down 2-0, but number 1 in our hearts. Let's go to Alan here on the show. What's up, Alan?
I wouldn't say I'm an Indiana Pacers fan. I'm just an anti-Knick fan. I grew up in basketball when you would light people up. I mean, Jalen Brunson last night, after the first half, if that was the old Pacers, the Davis brothers would have sent him to the second row, okay? I've never seen a team play so soft in my life like the Pacers did in the second half. 77 points. It was pathetic. So I know that Rick Carlisle was complaining about the refs. He should look in the mirror and say to himself, you got to play a little bit more physical. There was no physicality at all last night. So again, I miss basketball when you would light people up. I miss the bad boys. I miss when Jordan got beat up by the Pistons and rebounded and became the best player in the world. Basketball today is too soft for my liking. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a different era. Different era completely.
Different era. It's so soft today. It's ridiculous. My Jet point, first of all, I can't believe that Jim's kid is graduating from college. That's
unbelievable.
Love the guy. My point on the Jets, and I love your passion, and I love all these Jets fans, so optimistic. But the idea of wanting the Niners week 1, when A-Rod is rusty, and he is rusty, okay? He has not played a game in over 12 months, to go against that defense on a Sunday night is a disaster waiting to happen. They would get blown out. I'm telling you, I don't think the Niners are the greatest team in the world, but that is not a good matchup to start. Again, I want to start a little soft for Rodgers. I don't want to go to that building right away. Again, I think the Jets will ease into an 11-6 record if all is healthy. Again, I do not want them to play a tough-minded Niner team coming off a loss in the Super Bowl where they could have easily won. They would be pissed off, and they would take it out on us. And again, I love the passion of the Jet fans, but ease up a little bit. A lot of these people like 13-4, undefeated in the AFC East. All I want is 11-6 and 4-2 in the division to start. That's all I want. I'm not getting a little overboard with all this passion. Sometimes you got to think a little bit logically. Again, I worry about the health and I worry about our incompetent head coach. Okay. Those two things bother me. Nothing has changed. Again, if Tyron Smith gets hurt, if Morgan Moses gets hurt, if Mike Williams gets hurt, and we go 8-9, everybody goes. Okay.
Of course.
But again, that's my thought process. I do not want the Niners week 1. It makes no sense.
Okay.
But again, I love your passion, Paul. 7:30 in the morning. Love your daughter. And
yes.
hate every Knick fan in the world. Congratulations, 130 points against a soft team. God bless you. And again, I will follow your lead, Paul. Go Celtics. Goodbye, man.
There we go. There's Alan joining us on the show. That's freaking funny. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I don't. We need to think with logic in these. I don't know what that means. I'm afraid not. My brain does not have that in the vernacular. So I have to continue to scream Super Bowl and everything else going on. That's my only way to operate. Thank you to the 450 plus people that were here on the show. I got to sign off. I got to run to the radio station, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Like the video, hit subscribe. And again, if you guys want to call in, we'll be back on tomorrow morning live at 7:30. Plus, we should have a show coming up with Woody at 3 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we'll see you next time. Take care.